Let's talk about pepper spray certification. This video is especially designed for those of you who are located in the Golden State of California. If you want to learn how to be a pepper spray, tear gas, or chemical agent instructor in California, this video is going to help you out. If you are chiming in from another state, do not discount this video at all because I have some valuable information for you as well. This video will be helpful for those of you who are seeking out training and those of you who want to be the actual instructor. So in California, sadly, you don't need any training at all. You don't need to have attended any pepper spray certification course as a trainer. You don't have to attend any train the trainer courses. Nothing. You don't need any type of training at all to be a chemical agent instructor. Now, I keep changing around the terms of chemical agent, pepper spray. It's all the same thing. Whenever I say chemical agent, I'm referring to tear gas and pepper spray. It's all the same thing. So there's no training at all. In fact, if you're in California, all you have to do is follow the security guard skills requirements, the course syllabus, and just address 4 of the topics. The first one is tear gas, use and effects. Second is pepper spray, use and effects. Third one is airborne chemical agents and its effects. And then waterborne chemical agents, its use and effects. Those are the only topics that you have to cover. The state of California provides you the training syllabus, and that's what it is. I just gave it to you. If you're interested in looking at the syllabus and just verifying what I'm telling you, I'll leave a link in the description box below. But that's it. There's a 2-hour course and a 4-hour course. Most private security training facilities will offer the 4-hour course. And you get 4 hours of continuing education credit. This actually counts as an elective, as part of your 40-hour mandatory skills training to be a private security officer in California. Now, if you are an instructor in anything, you're probably concerned. Even if you're not an instructor, you're probably concerned because essentially your instructor doesn't have to attend any type of training. So right now I'm going to encourage every single person who is wanting to seek out pepper spray certification to ask your instructor this: what makes you qualified to teach this course? It's not a rude question. It's a fair question. Now, your delivery approach has to be appropriate. But for me, being an instructor in a lot of the different sections in private security law enforcement, I don't get offended because I can answer that question. No instructor should be offended. Let me ask you guys this, who are instructors out there in anything. If a student asks you what makes you qualified to teach the course that you're teaching, would you feel offended? And if you would feel offended, I have some serious questions later for you, because it looks like your experience, your training is being challenged, and it should be challenged if you get upset because of that question. So anywhere you go in California, any other state, ask your instructor this, any topic at all. What qualifies you to teach the subject? I would call beforehand, talk to the instructor that will be teaching the course, or even the coordinator for the courses, and ask them, hey, I am scheduled to attend this course on this date time. What qualifies an instructor to teach this course? So my certification, I actually went out to get some certification. So I went to Steve Baker or Steve Barker. He runs a company called VTI Associates. And by the way, VTI doesn't stand for anything. I know Steve because during lunch break, he took me out, treated me to lunch, and we had a long conversation about some interesting topics. A very intelligent, interesting fellow. I love his private investigation stories. Cool guy, and he is well-deserving of a thumbs up. So he had the chemical agent certification course. It was an 8-hour course. This was one of the best courses that I have attended. It was all hands-on. It was full exposure with pepper spray. You have to fight for your weapon. And then they went over contamination techniques as well. Basically, you're dunking your head in the water, and then you get a hose, and then you let the Nevada, depending on what part of the country you're located, you let all the wind just basically dissipate all the pepper molecules that's still stuck on you. But he has training to back himself up. He went to a reputable training organization, got his certification to be a trainer. What I did not like about his certification course, there's a 2-year expiration date. So basically, after 2 years, your certificate expires. Okay, I don't like it when an organization puts a 2-hour expiration date, except Taser. That's maybe a little bit different. I don't even like how Taser does that. I am not a Taser instructor anymore. I'll think twice about doing the 2-year expiration. I might, maybe not, but again, I just want to follow what Taser has. But for chemical agents, I don't like how they do that, because now every 2 years I got to go back. I think what would be worthwhile is if I attended another pepper spray course by a reputable vendor. Maybe not necessarily train the trainer, but just another course as part of a continued education, my own requirement, to have the credentials that will hold up in court. What you want to have is a reputable instructor who has trained you to be an instructor. The reason for that is this: if you have to go to court, you want to be able to rely on the expertise of that instructor. This is how I was trained, and these are the standards. Then they might subpoena the instructor that trained you to be an instructor, and that person is supposed to have superior knowledge to the point that this person looks credible in court based on that person's qualifications. And that's what you want. But if you just decide as an instructor to go out and start training people for chemical agents, remember, if you train 1,000 of them, okay, I see a bunch of these mediocre online schools out there, and they right now they probably train between 1 to 5. They trained 1 to 5,000 people. Out of that 1 to 5,000 people, there's a good chance that those officers, those security officers, are using chemical agents either one time or one day out of their whole career. And there's going to be that day when it's going to fall back on the actual trainer. And what are you going to say if you're the trainer when they ask you about your qualifications? Where did you get your trainer certification? Well, I've been carrying pepper spray as a private security guard for 5 years. Have you deployed it? No. So how are you able to train others in the effects and decontamination procedures? Well, I read the label. I mean, you're gonna have a hard time. I'm not saying that you can't articulate it. I'm just saying that you're gonna have a hard time. And it's not really the use that's going to get you in trouble in court. It's the decontamination. For some reason, I can't say that word right now. Decontamination procedures that is going to be at issue in court, because somebody's going to end up having some type of illness, injury, because you were not able to decontaminate on time. And you were not able to use that decontamination procedure appropriately. Okay. When I did a lot of chemical agent training, I gave the students the option of being sprayed, and I also allowed other students to decontaminate other students in the sink. You guys who have attended my course, you know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys actually ran a Jack in a Box, got a bunch of milk, and just poured it in your eyes, and that doesn't work, as you can see. But even the people that were involved in the contamination procedures, they got that hands-on experience as well. Some of you instructors out there probably saying, Sean, you're probably trying to limit the market of pepper spray instructors. I'm not trying to do that. If you call me right now, Sean, I need my certification for pepper spray, I won't do it. I don't give those certifications right now. Maybe I'll get back to it, but not right now. Okay. So that course was in Vegas. It's very hard to find a pepper spray certification course that's in California. It just seems like they're in Nevada for your Nevadian people here. It's hard to find a course. Now, most of the courses that are offered in California, you have to be a California peace officer or some type of sworn officer, federal, state, local, special district, in order to have that certification, in order to attend that course. Now, there's a different gateway, a different pathway. A lot of these private vendors that cater to law enforcement, they're in it for the business. I mean, they are literally running a business. So if you contact them and you ask them to train you and what type of organization, you tell them what type of organization you have, they might be willing to train you. Okay, you just have to ask. Matter of fact, there's a 3-day course. It's a 24-hour course. It's a train the trainer course in Southern California. That will be it'll be the first or second week of December. If you're interested in attending that course, send me an email. I'll leave my email in the description box below. And it might work, but if you contact the coordinator and just let them know who you are, that you want that certification, they might reserve spots for you. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm just saying that they might. I don't have any special connections with this organization. I'm just saying that they're a business. They're a private business. They want business. It is rather expensive. You're going to pay $1,500 for 3 days of training. I don't know if they will discuss pepper spray, but it's a chemical agent in general course. So you want to ask, hey, will this certify me to be a pepper spray instructor? You want to ask those questions. I can't ask those questions because I don't work for that organization. So it is expensive, but just look at the amount of revenue that you can get from hosting these types of courses or from creating these types of courses. That's all I got for this video. If you are a chemical agent instructor or pepper spray, tear gas instructor, I'm interested in knowing where you attended your training. Do you offer training at your facility as well? And guys, there's quite a bit of instructors I've been interacting back and forth. You can leave, as long as we had great interaction back and forth, you can leave links in this video. It's not trolling, not spamming. You can do that. That's all I got, guys and gals. Take care, and I'm looking forward to dialogue.